Hello there everyone, I am Pepino back playing more Kerbal Space Program Career Mode. So, we last episode had a very successful mission and ended up with a bunch of science. So, we are going to see what we can spend that on. Now, we're probably going to want mostly just things on this level. I don't know, do we want to just get the aviation right away? Yeah, we're going to be able to get it because we'll be able to get three on this row, and the aviation. So, we will go ahead and research that right away. We probably want to get the heavy rocketry because we want some of these larger engines. That is something that I definitely want. So we got that. Probably don't need that right away. These extra radial decouplers could be nice, but landing gear would be actually probably really good. And this is a larger heat shield, which we are probably going to need. So we'll grab landing gear and all of that good stuff. Okay. Let's see. We could get solar panels. Those would be probably pretty darn useful. But so would this lander can. Let's see. Yeah, that'd be nice. I would like to get one of these, but we gotta get this first anyway. Otherwise we would have to go with the hitchhiker storage container, and I don't think we are going to want to take that to the moon and back. But I'd like to take more than one Kerbal, that's the thing. I don't want to just take one Kerbal to the moon. Let's see. Yeah, RCS will also be helpful, so we should probably go ahead and get this. But the thing is, if we don't have solar panels, I don't think we actually have any way to generate power yet, and we don't have lights. Maybe we can find a way to do this either with one Kerbal or to just get more than one of those other lander or capsules, cockpits, whatever you want to call them, on the other ship. So let's grab this electronics. Let's get some battery packs, but most importantly the solar panels and lights, because having lights while landing on the moon sometimes really comes in handy. So that is going to be our next goal. It is going to be to land on the moon. So I'm going to mess around a little bit in the vehicle assembly building, and then I'll bring you guys back and show you what I got. Okay, so I am back, and I've had a bit of a change of plans. When I was looking at what technology we have and what we're going to be able to do, I decided that it would be better to do a few unmanned missions right now to get more science if we can, and also complete more contracts, because then we can get more money and upgrade a few of our buildings and get maneuver nodes. Because once we get maneuver nodes, that is going to make all of our complicated missions a lot easier. So what I'm going to do with this satellite is try and send it up, orbit the moon, and come back, completing the contract, hopefully, that I failed to complete last time because I didn't know what I was doing. And once we get that, as well as a new contract I just took, which was to gather scientific data from space near Kerbin, so we'll just do that on the way and send it back, and that'll be great. And we'll get some money for that. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to use a few satellites to try and complete a few contracts and make us some money, upgrade some buildings, then we're going to the moon. Okay, so here we are on the launch pad, ready to go, and we have blast off of our satellite Mark 1. Naming, again, not feeling the most creative about it right now. So, we are going to get on up into space, and then just try the same basic maneuvers that we did last time. So I'll probably skip through this mission pretty quick for you guys. I just want to make sure you get to watch to see if we survive this, and just as long as we don't like overheat here or something crazy, then we should make it. So the solid fuel boosters are about to be done. There they go. We've got our next little thing here, and let's take a look at what our apoapsis is looking like. Alright, we need to turn over ever so slowly. Here we go. We're getting up into the atmosphere now, so we can turn over a bit faster without it ruining anything. Alright. Let's just throttle all the way up and just get this, because I guess it makes more sense to just keep our throttle up, because it's more efficient to burn closer to the planet. So, alright, we are turned over. Now, we are going way up into space, so we can basically turn over really far and just burn sideways here to try and extend our orbit. Alright. And let's kill the engines and just warp up to our apoapsis there. And here we go. Now we will do the rest of the burn here of these engines. And there they go, they are done. We'll fire our final engine and get ourselves into an orbit around Kerbin. The other thing we can do right now is we can open up this little bay here, observe one of the mystery goo containers, and we will keep the data, because that will complete our contract, which is to get data from space around Kerbin. So there we go. We could just transmit it back, actually. It gives us 0 science, but yeah, let's transmit the data, because it'll complete the mission, hopefully. There we go. And is that done? Yes. Alright, look at that. So we got like 19,000 bucks just for doing that. Now we just have to hope that this thing is actually strong enough to get up into orbit. I mean, I think it should be. I don't think we should have a problem, but we will time warp here and just let it go and see how we do. Okay, yeah, we're going to make it up into orbit. No problem. It's just going to be a matter of how much fuel we have left. So, that is that. And I will do a maneuver to get us towards the moon over there, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so here we are. I've just done a burn that will hopefully get us near the moon in a decent orbit without crashing into it. So now we're going to warp ahead and see how we did. Oh, stop the warp. It looks like we are very, very close, but we are going to crash into it. Just a tiny bit. We want to point this way, not that way. This way, and burn. I believe. There we go. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is about a perfect burn from Kerbin with blind guessing and checking. So, that's pretty good. I am happy about that. Alright, so now we need to get a stable orbit of the moon. So we're going to get, let's see. Let's just burn to our periapsis. or warp rather, not burn. We'll warp down to our periapsis and get ourselves into that stable orbit that we need. Whoa, stop. Alright, cool. Cool. We almost warped past that, but we did not. Alright, so now, as we are low over the moon, we can burn here. Let's take a look at what it's doing to our orbit. We'll bring it way down. Alright. There we go. That's got to be a stable orbit of the moon. We'll bring it down even farther. Alright. There. Boom. That should be a stable orbit of the moon. We can do our scientific experiments here and get a bunch of science. Then we're going to bring this back to Kerbin and hopefully get the mission complete. So, material study in space near the moon. And then let's observe some mystery goo here. Alright. Maybe we have to be even lower to get the specific biomes of the moon. So we'll warp around a bit till we get up to our apoapsis there. And then we will have to do a quick burn to bring ourselves down really low near the moon, because that's where the real good data is. So stop ourselves here and slowly, gently bring this down. There we go. That's not cutting it too close, is it? 9,000. I think we'll be fine. I hope we'll be fine. Alright, so that is that. We can warp on around. Alright, here we go. Coming down. Going for a very close flyby of the moon, but according to this, we will not hit it, which is obviously the goal. Alright. Coming in real low. Alright, now let's see what our scientific experiments say. Still just in space near the moon. Maybe you only get the biomes for EVA reports, and I am just misremembering this. Okay. Well, let's just keep the data anyway. And we've got a good amount of data, at least, hopefully. And I think we've done all the experiments except for one, and we'll get that one while we're in space high over the moon. So, for good measure, let's go around one more time on our orbit. Okay, I'm just going to warp all the way around because I want to make sure we are considered in an orbit of the moon. And so here we go. Warp around. Let's do the last science experiment. Where's our goo? Observe the mystery goo. And look at that, 1.1 science. Okay, it's beautiful. We are really grasping there, but that's okay. If we could get maneuver nodes and such unlocked, we could go to Minmus, which would give us just an insane amount more science. So I'm not too worried. It's all about money at this point. That is what we do not have enough of to make it to make a moon landing. Okay, let's burn now, prograde, and get out of this here orbit. Whoops. Okay. That should be out of orbit. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that is a decent exit, because it's not going to tell us, I guess, because of lack of everything technologically, basically. So, we are warping. Goodbye, Moon. It's been fun. See you next time, because we'll probably be back. Okay, so when are we going to escape the Moon here? And what is our orbit going to look like? Okay. We should burn retrograde, because I don't know how far out we can go before we'll just be out in space around the sun, and we don't want that. So, let's just bring this all the way down. We have plenty of fuel, so I'm not super worried. There we go. It's looking good so far. We just have to avoid like another moon encounter or something crazy like that, but I think we'll be alright. And let's just get this down for a nice aerobraking, which I will probably only show you if we crash, because it's a repetitive thing that you've seen now many times. So I wanted to show it to you a few times so you know how to do it, but now I can kind of skip it, kind of like I did with the moon burn and things like that. So, alright, here we go. I will bring it in to aerobrake, and I will show you guys just like the final landing probably. Alright, we are screaming through the atmosphere, and this one is going to be our landing. Yeah, as everything is coming down. Don't ask me how I got into this orbit. I warped ahead a little bit, and there was a weird encounter with the moon that sent me into a strange orbit that was really close to the planet, to Kerbin. So I just had to do a few minor burns and aerobrake a bit, and now we are coming in still pretty fast, but we are landing soon. So, we gotta make sure we keep this pointed so that the heat shield is taking all of this heat, because there's a lot of it. And I suppose we should deploy the parachutes. There we go. And that'll slow us down. Nice, nice. And hopefully we can come down right into this little bay here. Look at this. Look at this. I will pretend that I planned this, but if we come down and land in the water instead of on the mountains, I will say that that's basically the best timing I could have possibly had. But who knows? Are we gonna miss it? We might still miss it. Oh well, that's all right. It's gonna be right on the shoreline there anyway. So now, basically, I will just warp on down and see you guys on the ground, considering it is nighttime and there's not going to be too much to see. As we are descending, I noticed something strange in the distance. It is the Lunar Orbiter Mark II debris, which I think is where Jeb crashed. So this is the coastline where Jeb tragically perished. And now, our successful mission is landing not too far away. So, that's just a little interesting thing I noticed. We are not going to land in the bay. We are coming down onto land. But that's going to be alright, I think. We shouldn't, like, tip over too badly and die or anything. I hope. We'll turn on SAS just in case. That will help a bit. And any minute now, we'll be down on the ground and we can recover this, see if we actually achieved that contract, and see how much money we have. Alright, down below 1,000 meters here. The parachutes will fully deploy probably any second now. Let's see here. Alright, there they go. And now we will warp down to the ground. Okay, so here we are preparing for touchdown. and hoping for no tip over. Or at least if we do tip over, it doesn't like blow anything up. And we're gonna tip, but everything seems to have survived. Look at that. Okay, let's get back to the Space Center and recover this thing. And hopefully we have met our goal. Okay, here we go. What is this line? Okay, oh well. We will recover the vessel. We have 82 science now. Actually, not quite enough for the next piece of technology, but we're pretty darn close. So if we do another contract mission or two, we may end up with that. So, let's see. We want to upgrade mission control. That is one of the first things we needed to upgrade. And I'm guessing we must have met the contract. Yes, perfect, because that is where we got nearly $100,000. So, that is great. Let's see. Science data from the surface of the moon. We would love to get that, but let's see. We could put a satellite. I mean, how specific exactly does that have to be? Do we have to get it down to the single exact meter? Because I don't know if we can do that. Visual surveys of the moon. Alright, I don't know what these zones are, but we could probably figure it out. Let's see. I'm going to look through all these contracts, and then I will decide what we're going to do, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, I have a plan. We are going to make a bunch of very cheap satellites, and we are going to put them in orbits where people want them because they will give us lots and lots of money for doing that. So, I've taken 2 contracts to put satellites around Kerbin, so those are going to be the next 2 missions, and I'm going to take a contract to put a satellite in orbit around the moon. And the reason I'm doing all this is because we get a $35,000 advance, which means that we're going to be able to upgrade our facilities before we do this. And if we can do these missions cheaply, then we will make tons and tons of money, and we will be ready to go to the moon and do other awesome things. So, we're going to take all 3 of these. And the guy is going, because we have 3 pretty well-paying missions that I think we're going to be able to do. Hopefully, as long as I can figure out all these specifics, but I think that that should be pretty easy. So, okay, we've got those 3 active contracts, and we've already upgraded our mission control. Now we need to upgrade our tracking station. There we go, look at that. Okay, so now we are down to $70,000, but we should have maneuver nodes, I think. I think I've done this right, so that we should have maneuver nodes from now on. So, I'm going to build the cheapest satellite that I think can get this job done, and then next episode, that is what we are going to be doing. We are going to be trying to put these satellites into orbits. So I'll see you then, and hopefully you are still enjoying the series, and will like and subscribe if you haven't. Bye-bye.